what could be coming with the weather and everything? Are you suggesting your players maybe stay down here tonight, or how are you handling tomorrow's game and preparations for it?
Yeah, I mean, I guess there are some differences to it, but no, we're. You mentioned, what did you mention? The weather.
The weather is supposed to be really bad. I didn't know if
Yeah,
we have a morning skate or how
yeah.
you can handle it.
We'll kind of monitor things as we always do before we jump too far ahead, but knowing that you may have to make adjustments. So, no decisions made because we just don't have information to make it right now, and we don't want to create maybe drama that might not be there either. So we'll hold off on anything like that until we get more definitive clarity.
I know you don't like specifics with players, so I'll ask in a general sense about Bryson. Is there any chance you play tomorrow?
No, I don't expect him any chance he's playing, but he's back. He's in the building. He's going through, protocol upon returning from being out, which that process probably pulls him out of eligibility for tomorrow's game, just by virtue of not skating and not being in shape to play at the NHL level. I think it'd be tough for me, even on a personal level, even if he was cleared immediately to play a game, to throw him in there tomorrow because you've had that time off. I'd like him to get more skating time in for his sake.
Is Cajula a possibility?
Kajula is not. He had the yellow jersey on today, which meant for the other players to watch no heavy contact against him, and he's still working his way back in. So we're one forward short. We have players obviously in our organization, and that be the case, we'll have that spot filled. We'll have our forwards tomorrow. Miller is going to be back at first. He was cleared just now. I made sure I went and got an update from him and our training staff, medical staff, to make certain that he's going to be eligible for tomorrow physically, and he is, and that'll fill out the group of D that you saw out there today, 6 defensemen that will be ready to go tomorrow.
You have Henry today. Just how much of a relief not to have any more guys going to protocol?
It was a relief. It was a relief on many fronts. Just even to run a better practice with 6 full D, and but anytime you get these guys, they go into protocol, you're nervous for them, just for health reasons, and then the hockey side, and both were pretty happy that he's healthy and he's available.
How different? I mean, we saw it a little bit in Boston, but you got another situation where you have a game with 5 more days after, so you can kind of run guys out there tomorrow, can't you, if you want?
Yeah, you can, and I will be gauging that, who's fresh, who's feeling it, and I wouldn't be afraid to, if a guy's going, he could get a career high in minutes because of that. You don't have to save it for anything, as you mentioned, because there's plenty of time to recover, and that is a situation, a coaching situation, I guess, that that, and you're going to coach to that circumstance. So if somebody's feeling it and I see him on the bench not breathing heavy anymore, they might just go right back out there.
Rasmus Dahlin was kind of in that boat last couple of games. How'd you see him handle that?
He's been unbelievable. I mean, he is. We can critique his game, but there's not a team in this league that wouldn't love having him on this team. He is competitive, ultra competitive, and that's where a lot of his mistakes make. He just tries too damn hard sometimes, and wants to plow ahead. Like I said, lots of times he makes one mistake. He wants to make up for it immediately, which is the second mistake coming because you're forcing it. But I love the competitiveness. He's found a balance and a rhythm, and Boston's a team that they challenge him pretty good. I think they probably circle his name on their board, and he loves that. It just makes him better. He just rises to that. He knew it before the game. He and I talked, and he loves to be challenged, whether it be by me or the guy across from him lining up in the other jersey. It makes him better. It makes him elevate, and we have made it known to him, and he feels that we need more out of him because he's capable of it, and our team needs it. And he's, taken more responsibility as a result. He's closing quicker in the defensive zone. We talk a lot about getting pucks back faster, and he takes that to heart. He's, we don't want to back up. We want to get the puck back now. Instead of getting it back in our defensive zone, get it back in the neutral zone. Instead of getting it back in the neutral zone, get it back in the offensive zone before they can come out. And Dahls has worked on a lot of technique to do that better, and he's getting better and better at it, which is awesome to see. And Yoki's also working on it as well. And those two together can become very, very good in this league.
Victor hasn't scored since Halloween. Do you sense any frustration in his game?
He definitely. There's definitely frustration in Victor's game because of whether it's that or anything else. I think he has a personal standard that he feels he's not achieving. The production is a production standard that he's clearly not achieving, and he has that in his mind. He wants to produce, and so I think he's looked within himself, specifically after this 3-game set coming back from Christmas. And the last couple of days in practice, he's practiced with much more intensity and intent. And so for me, it's much like Skinner at the start of the year. I said, he's going to start scoring. He's doing the right things. Just keep doing the right things, and you're going to get what you want. And so Victor is doing the right things. Specifically, he's worked harder with more intent in the last couple of days, and he's got to keep doing that, and it'll turn back in his favor.
Is it hard to get a player to believe that? You can say it to him, but is it hard to get him to believe it?
It's person to person, personality to personality. It really is. So you've got to identify which player, it might be how they were brought up. Quite simple, but that's where you really got to know your players and know what you have to supplement as a coach. Some guys you got to drive really hard. Some other guys you got to support because they drive themselves too hard. And Dahls is that case. Dahls is way too hard on himself, and that frustration causes mistake. He gets frustrated. He cares too much sometimes and wants to fix things too fast and skip processes, and because he's so intense. So he's different than, I use him because he's such an easy visual. And other guys, Thompson's different than Middlestead and different than, so it really becomes unique in how how guys handle each different situation. Even, when you sit a guy or bench a guy, or they're going to handle it differently, and you've got to try to figure that out, how each guy does perceive and handle things.
Even when Victor came back, I guess he was still hampered with the shooting. I mean, how much does that weigh on someone, not just physically, but mentally?
Yeah, where you see him, the subtleties that you guys could pick up, if I bring to your attention here, is he'll overhandle the puck, he'll massage it a little bit, he'll stick handle it to prep it. So it takes him longer to prep it because he doesn't have that feel because of the injury he went through. And he might not even recognize that. I can see it because I can see the pattern that's different in his release. He's the prep of the release of a shot. There's, that extra half a second or 1 second or 1/4 of a second was the edge that he had, where the goaltender's off his timing because he did things 1/4 second faster than 98% of the shooters in the league. So it throws the timing off of the goaltender. So when he goes through an injury that affects his shooting, that complicates scoring until you can get back to that 100%. And with him, as a visual, what I see is it's tougher for him to catch and release the puck. He's got to prep it a little bit more, and the goalie can get set then and predict better then. The defenseman can get in the shot lane. He has another 1/4 second or half second to get in the shot lane, and that's all it takes in this. At this level of play, it's all it takes. The lower level of play, that half a second could be 1 second. It's just you have more time, more space at lower levels. You don't when you're talking top end defenseman. And if he was skating today with Thompson, you're going to get the number 1D against you. So that number 1D is a little bit smarter, a little bit quicker than the number 3D that you'd be playing against, and that stuff adds up over time.
Anything else more about Craig?
No more. I looked for you. We don't have any update as far as any change in update from the last one. But when we have something and there's any movement, I'll make sure I inform you on it.
Could I ask you, if maybe you don't know, is it possible he may not come back this
there's a lot I don't know. So I'll tell you that right now. But and I don't know that one. I don't have the answer to that. But I think it's too early to even say that. Like I said, I could follow up on that, but no, I would have heard if that was the case. It's not the case. So the plan is for him to be back, and we'll still push to that initiative.